What's going on, guys? If you saw our last video on progressions, we had seen a few questions on wanting to kind of clarify the center of mass kind of discussion we had at the end of that video. If you didn't check it out up here. What I'm going to show you today is a progression that you can do utilizing a squat with those same principles in mind. So if a little bit of a recap here, if you didn't watch that video, we were talking about how to progress utilizing center of gravity. So the farther out something is from you, the more challenging it is, right? But you're limited to the amount of load that you can use. So there is a relationship between how far out something is from your body and the amount of load that you can actually carry. So I'm going to show you a progression with the squat. So starting out, my basic level of squat that I would have for somebody who is brand new to lifting, who has really no experience, is a counterbalance squat. So for those who don't know, we're using a weight and you're holding out in front of you. What this is doing is allowing your body to be counterbalanced by this weight. What that does is it allows someone who does not necessarily have the prerequisite balance or stability at the bottom of a squat to maintain a good position. It gives them something to kind of help even them out. You can do the same thing by holding onto a rack, which I'll show you here in a minute. But the idea is very simple. You're giving somebody enough support outside of their center of gravity, which actually is increasing their base of support right here, right? So this is actually far more easy when it comes to squatting variation because the light load that you use as well as the positioning. So here, what you do is you really focus in on getting those knees forward, and the weight is actually allowing you to sit in that bottom position much more easy. Much more easy? Easier? I don't know, whatever. So counterbalance squat, you can also do it by holding on to, quick, where's a good place to hold on to? Right here, here we go. You can do the same thing holding onto the rack, right? Look at us, this is like a pit crew. You can have a band around your hips, you can hold onto the rack, but the idea is simple. You wanna sit back and kind of use that balance to help you counterbalance that position, to help you learn that position. This is actually also a really good warm-up as well. It allows you to get into positions that you normally wouldn't be able to, kind of knock the rust off of the joints, whatever you want to do, and then stand straight up. So what we do after that sort of progression, let me see if I have one floating around here. No, but we don't need one. Dun, 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 dun. Yellow plate. Now we bring that weight in, right? So now our base of support and our center of gravity is moving closer and closer to the center of our body, thus meaning we can increase the load. So something that may have been a 10-pound plate now can be a 25-pound plate, 150-pound dumbbell, whatever that may be, right? So again, we're not going to be holding it out in front, because if you can maximize your counterbalance squat, you can start to use a lot more weight as more of a goblet squat position. Same idea though. You're going to be locking in like you would with a normal squat, allowing those knees to travel forward a little bit and sinking down. Again, this is a position that requires a little bit more stability, requires a little bit more upper back strength, torso stability. And as we saw with my last squat, actually requires you to not be out of breath. So next, what we have is you can now progress into a barbell front squat. I know there's going to be all sorts of booing. There's going to be all sorts of noises coming from the chats and the comment section down below. But this is the next logical step to come from the goblet squat into a more, a more strength building movement, right? Because as you've seen with front squats from the likes of athletes like Dan Green, you can have 600-700 pounds on a front squat, and you can surely not do that with a goblet squat. So again, we're varying the center of gravity of the bar to increase the load, thus progressing. So if you're looking to get stronger, this is how you would do it. So again, same idea. Front squat, and if you look from the side, in comparison to the goblet squat, which was a little bit more in front of me, this is directly over my center of gravity, right? So this is directly over my midfoot, and now I need to maintain a much better position, a little bit more upright, lock that torso in, let the knees travel, and come up, right? Pretty straightforward, right? But how do we progress into the back squat? And why would we do a front squat before we do a back squat? Well, the fact of the matter is the front squat can help teach you better form, better stability with the torso, get stronger in that upper back to maintain a really good position, right? I never have newer athletes or newer lifters low bar back squat for a very, very long time. They have to earn that right. They have to earn the ability to do that because there is such a runway of progression that can lead you there safely without getting into issues with mobility, with lack of strength, lack of stability, all of that. So the in-between between a low bar back squat and a front squat is a high bar squat, all right? So this goes a little bit higher on your traps. Think of it like an Olympic squat, right? And if you notice, this is a little bit different than that front squat. It actually pulls the weight backwards a little bit more. What this is doing is requiring a little bit more of your torso to remain upright and to be able to lock that core down, right? So here, same idea, locking that weight down, knees travel, and you're staying a little bit more upright than you would with a low bar back squat. You progress from there. Now we're talking about that low bar position. With that low bar position, we're able to really load the weight on. The biggest squats in the world have been done with a low bar back squat. There's a reason for that. It's the closest to your center of gravity. It's the position that you can load the most weight on, but it requires a strong upper back, it requires a strong torso, and requires a strong and stable lower body. So as you can see, there is a massive runway of progression for you to be able to vary your training, to progress from week to week, to month, from year to year. And there's really no excuse for you to not get stronger and better at what you're doing. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, comments, like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll see you guys in the next one.